Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Again, this is the Health and Wellness Spot, and I am Dr. Lewis. So, let's say hi to some people before we proceed. Good morning, Wibara. I see you. Joe, I see you. Mary, Makori, Julie Vance, Mweni, Child of God, Rose, G Blue, Baba Adriel, Alphonsius, Mickey, King Super, Danson, Chege, Mashia, Stan, Penguin, V, Father Julius. Good morning, everyone who is joining us today. Again, we appreciate you. Welcome to our live today. We are both on live on YouTube and also live on TikTok. And as I said, my name is Dr. Lewis, and this is the Health and Wellness Spot. Thank you for joining in again for this very interactive session about our famous experts and the NGO. So we are here to clear some doubts about the injustices that always run through our health systems. We are also here to have a conversation with different people. So we hope that if this conversation touches you directly, you'll be willing to join us and run a conversation. We also welcome medical experts and the doctors around. So if you can request so that we can have a conversation to clear some thoughts that we've always had and some doubts about health, we will highly appreciate your request. So again, welcome. Now, yesterday I put up a video on YouTube that literally explains diabetes and why we are questioning systems, the therapy for diabetes. And I hope you guys get to enjoy that video and share it widely because we need that. That's the best form of support you can show us, by sharing our videos. Those of us who are on YouTube, welcome so much. We appreciate you being here. Madiba Makori, I see you. Now, I have chosen to talk about experts. And the word experts, I've intentionally put it in a very provoking way. The reason that is because during the COVID season, that was the first time this word was overused. And most of us fell for the trap that experts are people who have or who are informed deeply about a specific topic, and they decide what you are supposed to think or what you're supposed to consume. Well, I don't think so. I think the word experts is a word that is used to just define people who have gone to school to be brainwashed in one area and then help propagate this agenda or help brainwash the masses through what they have learned. For example, most of you trust doctors a lot, and you tell doctors literally everything that is going on with your life. Things that you don't even tell your family or your spouse. Now you're doing that hoping that this doctor has solutions to your healthcare problems or your problems. Unfortunately, your doctor is just as human as you are, and therefore, at some point, it's hard for you to, for a doctor to ascertain what you're going through. And the point is, most doctors treat what they don't know. Doctors are not prophets. You understand your body better than a doctor, and only that you don't know. and your body keeps communicating to you in best ways possible that it cannot communicate to somebody else. But the problem is we put our trust in other people so much that we forget that our health is totally or entirely in our hands. So, experts and professionals, anytime we talk about a deep topic and then most of you come out asking for my credentials, asking for expert advice, asking for research and stuff, I get to understand how brainwashed we have become to an extent that we think just because I have a master's or I have a PhD in medicine, then I have the rights to advise you about health. Not knowing that you have a PhD in health of your own body. I don't. I might understand general anatomy and physiology. I might understand medicine in a way that you don't. But I will never understand your body better than you do. So I think it's high time that we start taking taking health serious and taking our bodies serious, the way they communicate. Like, for example, if you lose appetite, it's one way of your body communicating to you that there's a problem. But what most of you do is you run to the pharmacy and buy multivitamins, syrups, or those tablets, hoping that they will boost your appetite. But in real sense, your body doesn't want to eat, so it's communicating to you. It's telling you, I am not interested in food right now. I'm doing something else. Kindly allow me to do this thing before you bring in food. But we run to to take in food and start eating and take those multivitamins, hoping that they'll boost that appetite. But in real sense, every form of vitamin that we require is in our diets. Every form of supplement that we require is in our diets. There is no supplement that is not provided by nature. There is no supplement that nature did not give you, that somebody has to tap it from somewhere and then present it to you in its purest form so that it can help you. 90% of health, actually, all health solutions are in nature. Even the drugs are coming from nature, only that they are synthesized. Now, there are so many things that I look at and I pity people. For instance, pregnant women. Pregnant women are always on folic acid, the tablets, famously known as IFAS. I look at obese people. Obese people are always running around with concoctions of ginger, lemon, and stuff, drinking it, hoping that it will help them lose weight. Hypertensive and diabetic patients are all over hospitals lining up. If you just walk in a hospital and just look at the diabetic center, how many people are lining up to wait for one doctor or to wait for that specialist? You will be surprised at how we got into diabetes and hypertension. But the doctors are preaching the same language. That is the problem. They are preaching the same language. We have been consistent here. The other day, I put up a post on TikTok that is talking about beans being carbohydrates. And I have not responded to a single comment because I realized how much people are brainwashed. Everybody's thinking, oh no, beans are plant proteins, beans are this, beans are proteins, you're misleading people and stuff. And I like it that way because I enjoy seeing people walk out of their brainwashing into reality. So sometimes I'll put up a post like that, which is a reality post. A bean has 65% of carbohydrate. How is that a protein? That is just common sense. A bean has 65% of carbohydrate, which are basically sugars and fibers. But first, they will come out, the vegetarians will come out telling me how beans are plant proteins. And we all know that plant proteins cannot be compared to animal proteins. And that's why people who are vegetarians are suffering from B12 deficiency. Most of them are suffering from amino acid deficiencies. Most of them are suffering from depression. And most of them are unable to even put up healthy weight. They're thin. And the reason that is because you're concentrating on plant proteins, which do not come with healthy fat, which do not come with a complete amino acid profile, and you're defending them because of your addiction to cereals. Of course, it's acceptable. However, I want you to understand that it takes a lot to move out of brainwashing. It takes a lot to just be to unplug from different dietary conditions that you people are going through. Now, the weird part is somebody who is diabetic is even actually posting on that, is actually commenting and telling me how I am misleading people. You are fat, you are diabetic, you are obese, you are hypertensive, you have cancer, and you can't even ask, or you can't even take a minute to read and understand the nature or the composition of a bean. So you still want to defend your addiction to chapati and beans. You still want to defend that rice and beans is a balanced diet. Even after we've told you that there's nothing like a balanced diet, that is just a word that was designed to brainwash you to think that there is something that you need to eat to balance everything in your system. And oh, this is just carbohydrates. Basically, you're just making the food industry rich because they're the ones who produce these carbohydrates. They're the ones who schedule things and classify beans as protein so that you continue eating beans, thinking they are proteins, get that carbohydrate, get that fiber, get obese, get into diabetes, and then they'll benefit later because, again, it's just a chain from agriculture to the food industry, from the food industry to your supermarkets, from your supermarkets to your stomach, and then to the big pharma. So you're going in rounds and rounds and rounds all through. It's a cycle, and nobody cares. And nobody's supposed to care anyway. You're supposed to care about your health on your own. And therefore, anytime I see this type of posts or anytime I see this type of comments, I get motivated to even do better because after we've talked about that, after everybody had grown emotional about it, then I put up another post showing you how your experts are busy cutting a piece of cake to celebrate Kidney Day, the World's Kidney Day. So the same experts who are telling you to eat sugar and not to eat salt because salt will cause you kidney problems are the same experts who are actually cutting a cake which is sugar and wheat and which kill the kidney to celebrate the World's Kidney Day. Is it that we don't open up our minds to see these things, or is it just we just ignorant, or we just think it's just a short thing? It's a message being passed around that you can enjoy your cake. You can eat your wheat. We have insulin shots for you. Okay, so we're basically telling you to eat unhealthy diets, and we will still provide the solution, the problem that we caused. But you don't question the systems, right? Because it's your cabinet secretary, so you cannot question them. It's quite annoying. But again, it's only up to you to take this information and let it help you. Wacha hii information ikusaidie wewe. Pick what you can, use it for your own benefit. Nobody cares. Don't ever think that the Kenya Bureau of Standards will come and regulate the cooking oil that you're using. They don't. Remember, the food industry is very wise. So they will write a label, put it on their food stuff. But that label is full of lies. They will not indicate the total amount of sugars that they have put in that substance. They've just indicated the percentages, and those percentages are always lying. So they don't indicate the total amount of carbohydrates or the sugars that they put in their products. Then what happens? These products come to KEBS. Of course, KEBS samples them. Just a mere sample of a whole thing. Then once they sample, they just read the label. The label is okay, everything is okay, and then they put in a stamp. And also remember, most of these regulatory organizations are just funded. It's all about money. So once they get the money, products in the market. It is up to you not to consume seed oils. The country cannot, the government cannot come to your aid. If at all, 90% of people are on the streets complaining that the price of wheat, the price of flour has gone up, the price of sugar has gone up, the price of salads, the cooking oils has gone up. So why would the government concentrate on you, who wants to live a healthy life and live the 60%? Of course, politics is about the numbers. So it's up to you to take this information and use it. So again, I repeat, and I challenge anybody who still believes that beans are proteins to come on this live. I will invite you to talk about how beans are proteins. That tells me, apart from the knowledge or the information that you got from your primary school, you have never done anything else to walk out of the brainwashing. And that's the problem also with professionals, because the higher you go in the professional ladder, the more stupid you become. The higher you climb that ladder of profession, the more stupid you become. Because that's education is actually designed to brainwash doctors so that these doctors help the big pharma and the food industry to brainwash the masses even more. Andrew Mutua is telling me, and I see they are intruding Mama Pima station for seed oils. Yes, literally everywhere. And what actually nowadays, if you walk into the villages, you will get to understand that we have brainwashed our grandparents and our parents to an extent that they think that seed oils, sugar, and wheat flour are actually the standards of wealth. Every mother in the village or every granny in the village is always hoping at the end of the month, my grandson or my daughter will send me unga, will send me sugar, or will send me a whole 20 liters jerrycan of seed oils. So they even moved from healthy fats, the ghee, the tallow that they were using, that you grew up using and you grew up resisting, they moved to these seed oils. Now you can imagine, we even know, do you know, I don't know, just eating Irish potatoes, boiled Irish potatoes, will never taste the same as the Irish potatoes that have been deep fried in seed oils. There's a huge difference. Now, believe me, it's so hard to unplug from unhealthy lifestyles. Most of the times I see people walking into KFC or Galitos or even just a chips parlor just to sit and take that snack, that chips and chicken. And I sit back and I wonder if you just get that top cover off that broiler thigh, you will not like it. And if you just take that chicken and cook it yourself, the taste will make you hate chicken. But take that chicken and deep fry it in seed oil. Something happens to this chicken that we cannot understand. And therefore, the problem is not even the chicken, the problem is the seed oils. They become so addictive. Nowadays, every food product that is coming out has sugar, has fructose. Do you think the food industry is stupid doing that? The food industry is not stupid. What they are doing, they're actually making sure that you get so addicted to their products. They know their products has zero nutritional value. They know that. But they also know, they are ahead of you. They also know that you will come to realize that one day these food products have zero nutritional value. And therefore, what they do is they add in sugar to get you addicted. Because once they tap into your dopamine, they have you as a client for a lifetime. So once you get that dopamine addiction, you are their client. And you will fight anybody who is trying to tell you, stay away from wheat products, stay away from processed foods, stay away from such foods. You know of that workmate who is always snacking on something. He's always aware of the new chocolates in town. He's always aware of the new snack in town. That's why we also say that if four of your friends are obese, you are the fifth one. And therefore, do not ever tire telling your friends or your colleagues, talking to them about healthy living. Because in some way, whether you like it or not, they will influence how you live. They will influence how you eat. And at some point, they will call you out for dinner. They will call you out for a party. Your workplace, there is a party, an office party. You will eat these things. And little by little, they start influencing you out of fasting. They will start influencing you to continue eating these unprocessed foods and processed foods. And then they will tell you, come on, I've eaten chapati for all this life. I've never had that gastritis. I've never had a problem. You see, I'm just thin. I'm thin. Actually, thin people think they're very healthy. And thin people are the most unhealthy people on the planet. Thin is the new fat. Again, the other day I put up a post about on my socials about Mahesh, our Nyali MP, putting five spoons of sugar in one glass of tea. And then he's enjoying it. You can even see the anxiety on his face before he takes the cup, before he just takes the sip. Then you can even see how relaxed he becomes after taking a sip of that tea. It is not tea, it is sugar. Most of us take coffee, most of us take tea just as a vehicle to transport sugar into our systems. If we take sugar out of that tea, you will never take tea. So we only take tea because it has sugar. So we are using it as a carrier to just transport our sugar and then think that we've diluted the sugar. Wow. So again, that is just about the experts. Something else that is proving to be, it's just absurd. The non-governmental organizations, they tell you how much they don't make profits from you. The NGOs. Now, NGOs have an agenda. NGOs have an agenda, and the agenda is not you. NGOs did not come to Africa to help. Don't ever think just because they're bringing in ARVs, those nutritional supplements, they are here to help you. NGOs are not here to help an African person. Those contraceptives that they are bringing in, they are not an agenda to help African women. I'll say that with utmost respect to NGOs, but I will also say that because it's the truth. It's not my truth; it's just the truth, and it will have to go ahead of us. So the truth is this: NGOs came up with hormonal contraceptives. They brought our women hormonal contraceptives, and the reason why they brought that is because they wanted to control birth in Africa. Let me open up your mind a little bit about controlling birth. If you control the numbers, you are making these people even more poor. Because nature designed a woman to give birth. So why would you hold them from giving birth? Yet we want these people to be as productive as possible in the future, because these are future generations that will be productive, that will provide us with labor and human resource. But of course, they don't want that, because if you do that and you get your own resources, then of course you'll not depend on the West. And they want you to depend on them for everything. So they brought in hormonal contraceptives, and nobody is talking about this. I work in a government hospital, and I'm just so surprised that every month people are getting out to market. It's marketing, actually, to market these hormonal contraceptives to villages, to women in the villages, so that they control birth, because tunapanga uzazi, so that the children do not overwhelm you with with school fees, food, and stuff. 7 to 10 years down the line, our women are coming up with cervical cancer, breast cancer, hormonal imbalances, and therefore we are talking endometriosis, the painful menstruation. We are talking PCOS, the PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. We are talking fibroids. We are talking acne, skin conditions that you cannot explain. And do you know what is happening after that? These women will go to hospital, back to those hospitals, to be given another drug to help you solve the symptoms that were caused by one drug. So you get hormonal contraceptives, you get into all these issues, and then, of course, one thing that I've noticed, they will market, first of all, a vaccine. Like we know, children are receiving that vaccine. Every now and then, young ladies are being given that vaccine to just prevent them from getting cervical cancer, and it's all over. And we believe it. We believe that there's a drug somewhere that will help us prevent issues that we cause ourselves. How is that even making sense? Nobody's talking about the side effects of the vaccines. Everybody's just telling you, go and take this vaccine. It's very healthy. Any woman who is below, I don't know which age, any woman who has not been actively sexually should take this vaccine and all that. And nobody's talking about what will happen after those vaccines. People have never learned even from COVID. Nobody has learned from that. Just taking vaccines that didn't make sense, and we are here. Most of us are still experiencing symptoms of those side effects of those vaccines. Pfizer has never explained what happened. Now, again, so women are coming with all these issues, and we will market you drugs for cancer. We'll market you surgery. So women go again, take a surgery, remove those fibroids from your uterus, and then they recur again of course, the cycle still continues because you are not handling the cause. You are actually handling the side effects of another drug. So you're thinking these fibroids came in as a result of maybe just nature. Nature wanted me this way. This is how God wanted it. But you forgot you've been using contraceptives, hormonal contraceptives from a young age. And did you know that you're using the same contraceptives to stop you from getting pregnant when you're young as a woman? Then when you get to 30s and above, you'll still use the same contraceptives to help you get pregnant. Did you know that? And the doctor will quote it with a very good name, hormonal imbalance. You have hormonal imbalance. And this hormonal imbalance will require to take a hormonal contraceptives for like 3 months, a cycle of 3 months. Then from there, you'll become fertile. Now here are overcares. These are drugs that will help you activate your ovaries so you'll become fertile. Now, when you get pregnant, this will be a supplement for your pregnancy. Use this pregnant care. It is always a cycle. Look at the drugs that are being given to pregnant women that are supposed to help them boost their blood. So nobody's talking about pregnant women eating eggs, eating fatty meat, eating the liver, eating vegetables, and stopping them from eating sugar, seed oils, and wheat products that mess up their gut so that they cannot absorb nutrients in their adequate amounts. But when you go to hospital and your woman's blood levels are going down, your pregnant woman blood levels are going down, they will give you IFAS, a combination of folic acid and a combination of ferrous sulfate, so that this will help you to boost your blood. Now, this folic acid is supposed to help your child to prevent neuronal tube defects, so your child will not have problems with the spine. I think I also have to blame pharmacists because pharmacists are very reluctant in their job, and most pharmacists have been tied down to a window to just say 2 times 3, 2 times 2, 2 times 1, 2. That is their language. Pharmacists have slept on their job literally. Pharmaceutical technologists have slept on their job literally. It's all about the salary and singing 2 times 3 on the window. Most of you, I know, even the paracetamol tablets, you take them 2 in the morning, 2 at lunchtime, 2 in the evening. That is how that's how you take 2 times 3. Mickey is asking a very good question. Why do we have all these women growing beards all of a sudden? There are so many factors. Men nowadays have become so weak because of estrogen levels they are getting in water, estrogen levels that they're getting in deodorants, the foods, processed foods, the GMO food. So men have become weaker because testosterone levels has gone down, and women have become men nowadays because testosterone levels in women is rising up because of how women are being trained to be independent. That is one. Number two, because of the foods that women are also eating, lowering their estrogen levels. But again, women are also having problems with high estrogen levels. And all these problems that I'm talking about, the PCOS, the endometriosis, painful menstruation, imbalance in hormones, and all this, the acne, cystic acne, all these issues are because of estrogen dominance. And estrogen is coming from these hormonal contraceptives, from GMO, the phthalates, the glyphosates, from those chemicals that are used to ripen fruits. And women are getting into serious problems every other day because of NGOs. Now, I want you to also understand that there is an upgrowing trend of the GMO of the NGOs in supplying those equipments that are used, the MVA kits, equipments that are used in abortion. So abortion is being marketed to our women. Every other day, a woman has to abort. And do you ever ask yourself where your aborted tissues go? Where do they go after an abortion? No woman cares about the aborted child. Of course, the hospital will take care of it, right? You'll be surprised to get to consume your own baby in those fizzy drinks and those processed foods. So again, our marketers, our influencers are all over marketing NGO agendas. Vasectomy, men are cutting off their manhood just to please the NGOs, and they will come out and market it. And doctors will come and let me tell you, the food industry and the big pharma. You see, like for example, Sensodyne. That's a toothpaste that most of you use for sensitivity in your teeth. Not knowing that sensitivity in teeth is caused by sugar. So you go ahead and use Sensodyne to just numb your gums. Once it numbs your gums, and remember, Sensodyne is coming from the pharmaceutical industry. Do you know who they use to advertise their products? They use a dentist, in quotes, very well dressed in a tie and with a white coat and a stethoscope on the neck. That's the same thing that is happening on TikTok. Every doctor has a profile with a lab coat and the stethoscope on his neck to just scare you. They know nothing. Ask those doctors. Yesterday I was on a doctor's live, and he was doing free consultation. Free. And the guy is fat. The guy is even, every time is blowing his nose. And he's advising people on how to use antihistamines to clear a cold and how to use an antibiotic. So you combine antihistamine with antibiotic to clear a flu. Now, these are the same doctors that you will come sit on a table and tell them everything that you are going through. And they're even in their heads, they're wondering, what am I supposed to do? Because this one is out of my scope. What am I even supposed to do? Am I supposed to go and open up a book, start reading pharmacology? Textbook medics are all over. They are asking questions about the syllabus. You tell somebody something about sugar and how it causes an eye problem, and they will go ahead and ask you. They will go ahead and ask you for evidence. They will tell you that the syllabus pharmacokinetics does not say this. This is not a pathophysiology. So they want to scare you the medical journal, the jargons. It is not making sense at all. And doctors should wake up. You've gone to patients for long. And when I say something that is totally against your acts of service, you start thinking that I'm targeting you. I'm not targeting any doctor. I am here for the truth, and the truth shall always remain. I cannot have all these followers following what I say, if at all. I'm a con person. I don't ask for money from people. Those of you who have interacted with me on a personal level, they know I don't ask for consultation fee. But now another problem is, once you get my number and start communicating with me, you think automatically we've become friends. So you want to ask me every simple question that is going on through your family. That's not possible. Somebody's asking me a very good question here. Does folic acid help to conceive? Folic acid cannot help you conceive. Folic acid cannot even help your baby to prevent neuronal tube defects. Listen to this. Folic acid, the tablet, is synthetic. It has been synthesized. The active compound of folic acid is methylfolate. And methylfolate is one substance that most women cannot convert. Most women, actually, above 60% of the women we have in this generation do not have the enzyme that is supposed to convert folic acid from the tablet into methylfolate, the active ingredient. That is one. Number two, that folic acid being synthetic, it means the body does not recognize it. So it is hard for the enzymes to take it in. So it is non-absorbable. Then women don't have the enzyme to convert folic acid into methylfolate, which is the active ingredient of folic acid. Now you're taking them every other day. You're taking even a syrup, hoping that the syrup is the better one because it's absorbed faster. It is not absorbed. Just causing your women constipation and stuff. And the side effects, the metallic taste in the mouth, because they are not absorbed. They are not non-absorbable. There is no folic acid that is not in the liver and the eggs. Why don't you get it in the liver and the eggs? Which is very bioavailable. The word is bioavailable. Easy to absorb, and the body can convert it easily into active ingredients. But look at vitamin C. You head to the pharmacy and take ascorbic acid tablets, and then they are very sweet. So you consume them, you chew them, and hope that you've gotten the best vitamin C in town. That pharmacy has the best vitamin C. But that is not vitamin C, that is ascorbic acid. And that's the problem with also doctors. They think ascorbic acid is vitamin C. No. Vitamin C is not ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is just a covering of vitamin C. Vitamin C has more than 4 components. Vitamin J, vitamin P, that ascorbic acid being the covering. Then we have also copper and zinc. All those make natural vitamin C. which is bioavailable. But the synthetic one is not absorbed. It is non-absorbable. It's just sweet. It has sugar, and you know sugar and vitamin C have the same structure, so you cannot near the same structure. So you can hardly absorb vitamin C when you have sugar because the body will take what gives it a reward, and sugar gives the body dopamine, a feeling good, the feeling of good. I feel good when I eat sugar. So the body will take sugar because it gives it a reward by giving you dopamine hits. The body will discard vitamin C because there's no benefit from it. Most of you are eating a balanced diet. You're eating ugali, 2 pieces of beef, and vegetables cooked in seed oils. Then when you do that, you're expecting your body to absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K. You're wondering why you don't have a vision. You're wondering why your children have all these infections all the time. You're wondering why bleeding is a problem to you. You're wondering why you have those weak bones. Because fat-soluble vitamins have to be absorbed by the aid of animal fat, the saturated fats. So you're eating your balanced diet, of course, but it's not helping you because you're not absorbing anything. So the body is struggling to get in the nutrients. Now, the body has to absorb nutrients in a certain way, and fat-soluble vitamins have to be soluble in fat before they are absorbed in the lymphatic system. So you've not eaten saturated fats because, of course, fats will cause me cholesterol and they will kill me with clogging of arteries. So you avoid fats, then you go consume seed oils. What a mess. You have a favorite brand of seed oils, and if not from that company, you cannot buy it. But if somebody tells you buy ghee, you're like, ghee smells bad in my food. I mean, who cares about the smell? If healthy people can chase 1,000 things, but a sick person has only one thing to chase. So you wait until you become that sick person. Then you realize you will come onto these lives to just find this information. And at that moment in time, those lives will be payable. You'll be paying for that information, because of your ignorance anyway. And that's what I do exactly. I will give you information. Then when you come back, I'll punish you because you'll have to pay. So if you ever thought that the food industry has the best food, look at the packaging of our children's, the flour that is used to make uji for our children, porridge, written on high in vitamin E, high in vitamin C for. Then I just start wondering, how did they get vitamin C to put in this product? This is cornstarch. It has nothing like maize in it. It's just pure cornstarch. Then they have taken in another cornstarch, reacted with sulfuric acid to form vitamin C, the ascorbic acid. Then they join it. So they give you just poison. And you enjoy this poison, hoping that your child's immunity will be okay. My child takes porridge in the morning. Hey, why is your child always in hospital then? Why are they having all that eczema, all that skin allergies and respiratory allergies? Why are they asthmatic? If at all what you've been doing is the right thing. And that's the problem again. I wonder, when somebody comes to consult, they come telling me, I've been doing the right thing. Then I wonder, why are you here? If you've been doing the right thing, why are you here? Most of you are telling me, I am your follower on TikTok. I follow everything you do on YouTube. That but just tells me you've done nothing already. You've done nothing already. Somebody saying my volume is cochini. Who else thinks my volume is down? If my sound is clear, kindly just wave. So do not overtrust the healthcare system. Hospitals are just a branch of the big pharma near you. And for you to understand how brainwashed we are, sound is okay. It's your phone that has a problem then. Yeah, it's clear. So if you want to understand how these organizations are just weird, just look at it this way. Anytime you go to a hospital and you get all the consultation, you go to the laboratory, everything is okay. And then the doctor fails to write you a prescription. How do you behave? Anytime you go to a hospital and every service has been done to you, and then you realize that this doctor just told me to go home. I came here, I'm feeling unwell, but everything is okay. And then my doctor told me to just go home. Thank you so much, people on YouTube. My sound is clear. So yeah, I think that lady's phone is the problem. So we will proceed. Thank you for the feedback. So now you will miss a prescription, and then you will go out. But the only thing that will go out saying is that hospital is a bad hospital because it doesn't have drugs. Oh, that doctor is a bad doctor. He did not write me any drugs. Imagine that type of brainwashing. That's how bad we've been brainwashed to think that drugs are the solutions to our problems. So how dare you walk into a hospital, get services, consultation, have those lab tests done. Then when you come out, you say that they just tell you there's no drugs. You don't require any drugs. Just go take salt water and move on. You get so angry and you will never come back to that hospital. And now that is where the gap comes in between the public and the private, and also between private and private. So what private facilities will do, they realize that if we don't give you drugs, you will run away. But we have to pay bills. That is just the truth. They have to pay bills. They have to sustain their market value. So they have to be in market. So what happens is this: they will give you all those drugs that you want, because of course you want them. So they will do what you want. Because some of you even tell the doctor, instruct the doctor, I want this type of drugs. I've been using Augmentin. Now I want this one. So you go there with a predetermined mind that when I have pneumonia, most of you just come to hospital with a cough and you say, this is pneumonia because of the cold season, I have pneumonia. Now you're even blaming the cold season instead of blaming what you've been eating. How is it possible that most people are not having pneumonia and you're the only one who is in hospital for pneumonia? You say, now I have pneumonia, Daktari, I want that injection. That injection that helps me. You know, when I'm injected that one, I always feel good. My pneumonia disappears. You know, when I have this headache, I just know this is malaria. So you are so much an addict of the healthcare system, and nobody cares. You will write that prescription. You want AL? Yeah, you go take it. They will also tell you 4 times 2. Nobody explains the basics. Take this with yogurt. Yogurt does a very good job, failing to understand that yogurt is just full of sugar. So we can rant here the whole day. But I want you to understand this for free, that your health is your business. KEBS will never protect you. The government will never protect you. Ministry of Health will never protect you. Health is your business. It's not even mine. I don't care. You think I come here to put this post out just because I want to care? No, I put this post out so that when I grow old, I will come here and just think, hey, I did the right thing. I told them the truth. They did not listen. Because believe me, if I want to become super rich, I will become super rich because I just form my conspiracy theories and come with them here. Because the best part is I have the information about health that you don't. Now, when you don't have that information, then I have the liberty. I actually have, it's like a monopoly. So I'll determine what you will consume. We all know if a doctor tells you to take 2 liters of water in the morning, lunch hour, and evening, you will do it. That is the problem. Because we have allowed doctors to know us better than we do know ourselves. You see, so if you think I'm out to put this information out so that you can come bash, because that's how we've been designed. You come bash, you come talk bad about it. It's fine. But remember, I am only here to provide guidelines. Those who ask me about dietary plans and stuff, and you want me to give you the foods that I eat every day, there are people who I'm trying to help to lose weight. About 38 of them for the next 3 months. And the good thing is, everything that we do, we share in that group. So maybe after that happens, then we'll bring in another group for more people, but you'll have to pay. This one is for free. So at least there we share what we eat, what we cook, and the experiences. And we also train you to learn things about life. There's one problem that I want you to know. When you're trying to lose weight, everybody will come with different information to help you lose weight, including doctors, including those nowadays on TikTok. There's an organization, I don't want to mention the name, but it's always marketing supplements. It's using doctors. They're actually in my DMs all the time. They want me to market their supplements. I told them, why don't you start making healthy foods? Why don't you start selling healthy foods? So if you ever thought that we care about your health, no. We care about that salary. That's a bitter truth, right? A bitter pill to swallow. Most doctors, actually, all doctors care about the salary. So let's say hi to some individuals here again, once again on YouTube. Get to hi. Akolo, good morning. Rob, good morning. Miriam Kinywa, Robert Makworo, Lydia Nyamisa. Welcome to this live. Talk about autism. What is there to talk about autism? I always tell you that mental health problems, depression, autism, dementia, all these are hailing from the gut. If you fix your gut, the problem is you start eating healthy foods without even fixing your gut. And these people who are telling me to talk about autism, every time I talk about fasting, everybody is telling me, shakaola, shakaola. Fasting is not taking you to shakaola. Fasting is fixing your gut. Fasting is fixing your brain. In your head, there is a factor, there's a protein that is called BDNF. BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. The reason why that protein exists is because it actually activates your memory. So it's helpful for you, but it's suppressed by consuming bad food, seed oils, wheat products, carbohydrates, and all this, and the sugars in your system. They suppress that. Anytime you fast, you multiply or you increase the synthesis of this BDNF. So you start becoming wise. You start healing from all these degenerative disorders. Now also understand that most conditions hail from the mitochondria, which is the energy machinery of the cell. So when you ask me anything about health, I'll tell you to fix your gut by dropping seed oils, sugar, and wheat products. These are the three things that most of you are unable to drop. So you go ahead and ask me for drugs. I tell you now, walk out. Because I'm actually helping you to fix holistic drugs, which means you just intending to, you can just go to a pharmacy and buy those drugs and take them. The consequences. The best health comes from the gut. If you fix your gut, I'm talking from your mouth to your anus, if you fix that, you will absorb nutrients in their adequate amounts. Mental health conditions start to disappear because you dropped sugar. Sugar in the head is definitely dementia, definitely autism, hyperactive disorder in children. It's all about sugar messing up the children's brain. Now you'll think that feeding your children sugar is the only issue. No. This child came from you as a woman. So what you were feeding on is exactly what was coming out as quality breast milk or as quantity breast milk. So once your milk is just messed up, the child's that's remember that's the first immunity for the child. So you're exposing your child to very unhealthy milk already because you're eating crap. Now your child's immunity starts going down from the word go. Then you add on antibiotics. How many of you take your children to hospitals and when you get out, you buy them Fanta Orange plus biscuits so that, or Lucozade or Ribena, so that they top up their blood level, so that they give them energy to handle drugs, or yogurt. My child has just taken drugs and these drugs are very strong. So he needs to eat. He needs to take some yogurt or some soda to help him fight the strength of those drugs. How many of you do that? How many of you, your children are still on wheat products, the Indomie, the processed meats? You take your children on Sunday, every Sunday you take them out after church, you take them out to eat in restaurants. Us are doing that. How many of us will feed your child antibiotics every other week? Today is pneumonia. You go to one doctor, writes antibiotics, take them. Next week is a gut problem, diarrhea. You go to another doctor, writes antibiotics. The next week, because you have a health insurance and you want to utilize it maximally, you want to because you think this is a voucher, is a voucher, a shopping voucher for drugs. Just because you have a health insurance does not mean that that health insurance is a voucher for you to buy drugs. Most of you have many pharmacies in their homes. Your house is full of drugs. You're having a headache, maramoja. You're having stomach problems, metronidazole. You're having a common cold, flugon. You're having a sore throat, you need to lozenges. They have honey, and honey is very good for sore throat. Who told you that? Honey is sugar, and sugar is a substrate for bacterial growth. How long should be the fasting? Now, fasting, when I talk, my Laban, thank you for that question. When I talk about fasting, people think that you have to do a prolonged fast every other time. Prolonged fasts are supposed to be done periodically. So, for instance, personally, I do a 48-hour fast every after 2 weeks. Then once in a month, I do a 72-hour fast. But every day, I eat a maximum of 2 meals. One meal comes in at 12 at noon. The other meal comes in at 6:30 p.m. And most days, I do one meal a day at 6:30 in the evening. So that's how you start. Fasting is basically not eating. So you need to give your gut some time to digest, to absorb, and then convert that nutrients into healthy energy. And also clear stores, food stores in the fat, in the liver, so that you bring in new energy. But most of you already have fat cells that are full of glucose and fat. You have the liver full of glycogen. Your muscles are full of glycogen, but you still bring in glucose. Then you end up being pre-diabetic and diabetic. And your doctor will tell you diabetes is high blood sugar levels. No. Diabetes is body sugars that are high. So blood is just an indicator that you have diabetes. So fasting is a daily thing. It's a lifestyle. Just the same way you eat is the same way you should fast. So give yourself a gap of 8 to 12 hours between a meal. You will start to understand that hunger is a mindset and not an emptiness of the stomach. Once you just adapt that, your system starts burning fat and you become fat adapted. You don't become carbohydrate dependent. Most of us are carbohydrates dependent. And that's why you will defend carbohydrates by all means. You need to get to a fat burning state. And remember, the body exists in only two forms. One is you're storing energy, the other one is you're burning energy. When you're storing energy, it means you're eating. And anytime you eat, you raise your insulin levels. Once insulin levels go up, you cannot burn fat, so you store energy because insulin stores energy. So you become fat, you become insulin resistant, you become obese, you become diabetic, and all these things. Now, when in the other state, so this one is storing, the other one is burning. How do you start burning? First of all, cut what you're eating. Stop eating. Once you stop eating, your body shifts from what you've been eating to what is stored. So you start burning fat. That's how you lose weight. That's how you recover from insulin resistance. That's how you clear diabetes and hypertension. That's how you clear cancer because you're not feeding your disease. You're burning what you have in the system. And then through that, you get ketone bodies. When you burn fat, you get ketone bodies. Ketone bodies are healthy energy sources for the brain and the body cells. The body likes them. But it's so hard for you to burn fat because you are carbohydrate dependent. So it's hard for you to burn fat. But once you start burning that fat, your body does not crave anymore. You don't feel hunger anymore. You start seeing things differently from other people, and you realize it from your skin. The skin becomes so smooth. Then you don't feel hungry. You don't see the need to eat all the time. Okay? Good. How often can you drink water when fasting? You can drink water as often as you want, but the body asks for it through thirst. And I want you to know, when you're fasting, you can take a short, like 4-hour period of dry fast or even 8-hour period of dry fast. You will maximize on autophagy, but do not do above 12 hours of dry fasts. No, that is hurting your kidneys. So you need to rehydrate during fasting. And what drinks do you take during fasting? One, sugarless black coffee. And most of you will tell me black coffee is very bitter. It's not coffee that is bitter. It's you that is addicted to sugar. So sugarless black coffee, sugarless green tea or black tea. You can also take water, and in that water add salt, because where salt goes, water follows. So that will be adequate hydration of your system. Also, salt helps you to activate gastric acid, the HCl in the stomach, so that you can digest protein adequately, and therefore bloating and that gas disappears. Also, salt helps you activate reflexes of the stomach, the peristalsis, the motion, and therefore you will not have constipation. IBS starts to heal. And again, salt helps you balance blood pressure. Don't be lied to that salt will cause hypertension. The person who said that salt can cause hypertension is called Arthur Guyton. Actually, the one who wrote the pharmacology textbook is called Arthur Guyton. He's a professor. But he said that if you take salt, you can only cause an increase in blood pressure if at all your kidneys have a problem. That is the part that was missed out in the syllabus. And then the doctors will use that to defend it. Oh, we have the RAS system. The RAS system causes absorption of salt and all that, and then you raise your blood pressure. No, salt has no problem. The problem is when you have a failing kidney, then of course you cannot absorb sugar. You cannot absorb salt. You cannot take salt, because if you take salt, you cannot excrete it, because kidneys are the ones that they clear salt from the system. So if you take salt when you have a kidney problem, that is a problem. And what causes a kidney problem? What causes a kidney problem? I'll wait to see that answer. I've been doing the 16-8 intermittent fasting for the past 1 week, and I am feeling like a newborn baby. My kitambi is reduced drastically. Laban, take that from me. Trust me, when you just start from intermittent fasting, move your breakfast from morning towards midday, because morning breakfast is very useless. Move it towards midday. You start experiencing a whole difference in you. You're not tuning in the office every morning. And those people who go to the office and take breakfast at 8 from home, then in the office you take another tea and chapati at 10. Immediately after 30 minutes, you start yawning because the system is also telling you now insulin is up, glucose is down, now bring in more. That's why you're addicted to food. Kidney problem can be caused by low vitamin D levels. We don't dispute that. We don't dispute that. And how do you get low vitamin D levels? Now that you've raised it, let me educate you a little bit. Vitamin D does not come from the sun. Vitamin D comes from cholesterol. So you have to consume cholesterol-rich foods like eggs, meats, fatty meats. So you have to, and animal fats, saturated fats. So you have to consume that cholesterol for you to get vitamin D, because you eat a healthy diet that has all this cholesterol. You absorb that cholesterol. That cholesterol is stored beneath your skin. And therefore, that is the one that the sun, the UV radiation from the sun hits and converts it to vitamin D. And then this vitamin D is still inactive. So it will be taken to the liver and then to the kidneys for activation. So if you have a problem with the kidney, if you have a fatty liver, if you're not eating healthy diets rich in cholesterol, you will have a problem with vitamin D. You'll have a deficiency. Also, cholesterol plays a very important role in sex hormones. They call steroidal hormones. Progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. So if you have a problem with cholesterol, low cholesterol, you will have a problem with erection as a man. You will have problems with hormonal balance as a woman. That's why drugs that lower cholesterol, they're called statins or fibrates. They lower cholesterol. Those people who are on those drugs will tell you they always experience erectile dysfunction and loss of memory, because 80% of your brain tissue is fat, is cholesterol, which tells you the brain loves cholesterol. So if you don't eat foods that are rich in cholesterol, you will start killing your brains. And that's the reason why breast milk has high content of cholesterol. Now, if at all eating cholesterol was a problem, why is it that we are not giving children drugs that treat or lower cholesterol? Yet children are surviving literally on breast milk that is rich in cholesterol. So that opens up your mind that statins are useless. So if you're on statins, drop them right now and fix your kitchen. Drop them instantly. Do not need to taper them down. Just drop them, because they are causing you more problems. That's why you're losing your memory. That's why you're having erectile issues. That's why you're having skin problems, because cholesterol forms skin, the layer, that the lipid bilayer on your cell membranes, that is cholesterol. Cholesterol forms vitamin D. That's the reason why you have low immunity, because you don't have vitamin D. So it's time to unlearn some things. So let's bring in some people who are basically here on the live. Let's bring in some people and see who is interested in having a conversation here. So again, if you have a question you want to ask, fried or boiled eggs, you can eat eggs in any form. Boiled, fried, you can eat them in any form. But fry your eggs in ghee. Please talk about the consumption of meat again. I already told you that meat, if you want to enjoy meat, make it fatty. Eat fatty meat. Wacha kwenda kwa bucha na uambie mtu wa bucha, toa hiyo mafuta. You're wasting time. That fat is healthy for you. That fat will help you absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K. Those are the most essential vitamins. They are called fat-soluble vitamins. So if you don't have these vitamins, you'll have all the problems. If you don't have vitamin E, your body will not detoxify itself. That's the reason why we will sell you things that will help you detoxify. But the best detoxifying agent is vitamin E, and also fasting. So if you have a problem with vitamin E, you will have a problem with toxins building up in your liver. If you have a problem with vitamin A, vision will be a problem, your liver will be a problem. Okay? If you have vitamin D deficiency, you know already your immunity will go down, bones will be weak. If you have a problem with vitamin K, clotting will be a problem. So those are the fat-soluble vitamins, and they are only absorbed when they dissolve in saturated fat, and that is animal fat. So if you eat that vegetable with fatty meat, you will actually absorb literally everything in that food. The vitamins you will absorb. The fat is healthy for you because the body prefers fat over carbohydrates. Now, bone marrow is perfect. Perfect. That's why I ask people to take bone broth. Instead of you taking that concoction in office that has garlic and whatever and lemon, just take bone broth. Boil your bones during the weekend, then pack them in a tin and go drinking that bone broth. That is a healthy source of calcium. That is a healthy source of magnesium, healthy source of essential fats, and all this iron. But you will prefer going to the pharmacy to buy calcium supplements that are non-absorbable, right? But don't take the bone broth. You'll prefer buying pasteurized milk, which is useless, has no nutritional value, and tell us that milk is a rich source of calcium. Who told you that? Milk is not a rich source of calcium. Pasteurized milk, for that matter, is no nutritional value. It's all about carbohydrates and sugar for addiction. Can I boost my testosterone levels naturally? Yes, you can. You can go to the sun, you can take cold showers, you can go to the gym, you can eat healthy keto, and then start fasting. Because fasting boosts your growth hormone, fasting boosts your testosterone levels. Even fermented milk, if you're fermenting milk, do not boil it. Go to the cow direct, get that milk and take it into a gourd and start fermenting it. That is a good one because all the components will be there: fat, protein, microbes, and essential carbohydrates. But if you boil it, you've wasted time. How best to get vitamin B12 from diabetics? Vitamin B12, I've talked about diabetes today. I've dropped a video yesterday about diabetes explaining all these things. Metformin, which is a drug that is used in diabetics. Literally all diabetics have metformin. Is one drug that causes vitamin B12 deficiency. Drop metformin, fix the kitchen. Number two, those vitamin B12 supplements will not help you. They are non-absorbable. Get vitamin B12 from the liver, from the eggs, from vegetables, green vegetables. Okay? Get it also from fermented cabbage. Those are the sources. Get it from avocado. The rich sources of vitamin B12 is literally everywhere. Vitamin B12 is literally in every food that you eat. So get it from there. And then you cannot absorb vitamin B12 without fixing the gut. So you need to fast for you to fix the gut. Once you fix the gut, you'll absorb vitamin B12 in its adequate amounts. Okay? Yeah. What can we do to kids since they can't do fasting? Feed your kids. Kids are adaptive to what you do. So actually, the character of the kid is always a reflection of the mother. If the kid is fat, the mother is definitely the one causing that. So children adapt. You can feed your children healthy foods: beans, sweet potatoes, mashed ones, pumpkins, butternuts, meat, liver, eggs plus the yolks, fish, avocados. Drop those fruits in your children, those juices. Okay, and then cook their foods in ghee. Is almond from the supermarkets okay? Don't trust anything in the supermarkets apart from ghee. Now remember, those processed foods, the lower the ingredients, the lesser the ingredients, the better. For instance, if you look at the ghee, it only has 2 ingredients. The lesser the ingredients, the better for you. The lower the sugars, the better for you. But nowadays, they lie a lot about the labels. They will even omit some things on the labels. They even use codes. Talk about asthma. Asthma is a chronic inflammatory condition of the respiratory tract, of the respiratory the bronchioles. Inflammation hails from gut. Fixing the gut fixes literally everything. Now, asthmatics, stay away from seed oils, stay away from wheat, start fasting. Give yourself 2 months and see what happens to you. You will drop that inhaler instantly. But if you continue taking salbutamol, the inhaler, you continue taking a steroid inhaler, steroids will mess up your system because those steroids, they weaken bones, they cause adrenal insufficiency, so your kidneys will start failing. They raise blood glucose because they instruct the liver to start breaking down glycogen to give you glucose. Remember, cortisol is part of the stress hormones. Good. So, guys, we have a YouTube channel, and actually, we are live on YouTube too. Thank you for those who are on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel called Health and Wellness Sport. Yesterday, we dropped a video about explaining diabetes and questioning the drugs for diabetes, how they work. We've explained it there. Make a tour to the Health and Wellness Sport on YouTube and do that. Is Scott's, this is not, I think you meant Scott's emulsion. good for children. It's not good for anybody. It's a synthetic product. Anything that is packaged and advertised is not good for you. They tell you it has omega-3, but omega-3 is in fish. Omega-3 is in ghee. Omega-3 is in fatty meat. Omega-3 is in the liver. Why don't you focus on eggs? Why would you go for Scott's emulsion? It's because you want a quick fix. How do you deal with anxiety? Anxiety is a non-existent condition. It's all in your head. You're not special. Everybody else gets anxious at some time. But stop being anxious. Worry about what is important, immediate, and true. When you start worrying, anxiety will only come if you're worried about your future. There is no future. Your future is now. So if you're worrying about tomorrow, you're wasting time. Start worrying about now. What you can do now to change whatever you are thinking about tomorrow. Do it now so that you can change your life now. Worry about what is important, immediate, and true. Once you do that, then start meditating. When you wake up, meditate. Before you sleep, meditate. Focus your eyes. Now, let me explain how this is just a silent prayer. People have done it so far and it's working for them. Just close your eyes, relax, focus your mind in between your eyes. Take a minute. Just let those thoughts flow. Do not fight them. Do not block them out. Enjoy those thoughts. Do not fight the environment. Every noise that is coming in, let it come in. But focus your mind between your eyes. Set your alarm. Take about 10 minutes of doing that. Breathe naturally because you're designed to breathe. Once you do that, you start to realize you're not a product of your thoughts. You've always been a product of your thoughts. And once you clear that from your system and start to understand that human beings are the only ones who have the ability to think about their thoughts, you'll know you're special. So those bad thoughts will start disappearing. Now feed your mind from that, from what you want. Feed your mind positivity. Do not feed your mind on problems. Most of you are carrying their burdens from the past. Most of you are so worried about tomorrow. And you forget you cannot live tomorrow. You have to live today. So do everything now. Just focus. Once you do that, everything system goes back to normal. You lower your cortisol levels, and then the anxiety just disappears. Then go to the gym and do something. Work. That is how you just clear the depression and anxiety. It's that simple. But you'll start to think that because you're depressed, you're the worst person. You're not even worse. You're not even special anyway. There are so many people going through depression, and whatever you're going through, everybody is going through it. Most people are going through it. So that makes you not special. And then you cannot fix brain conditions without fixing the gut. Do you count night time when fasting? Yes. Fasting basically means no eating, regardless of the time. And most people will fast and eat groundnuts, snack, and say, I just snacked. Snacking is not that serious. You count night as fasting. Is butter good for kids? Yes, butter is the best thing for kids. It's an animal fat. Are vitamin supplements okay? No. Talk about gout. Gout is an inflammatory condition of the joints and is because of raised uric acid levels. Raised uric acid levels, people will tell you it's because of what you eat. No, it's because of meat, red meat. No, it's not. Raised uric acid levels is because of an exit problem. Uric acid is excreted through the kidneys. So if you have failing kidneys, it will start raising in your blood. That is how you start getting high levels of uric acid in your system. Now, uric acid can come from as a metabolic byproduct of purines, which come from meat. Yes. Uric acid also in the liver. When I tell you to avoid fruits and honey, fructose is converted to uric acid. When you convert fructose to uric acid, then you start raising your blood levels of uric acid. And remember also, fructose causes insulin resistance. And insulin resistance kills the kidneys. So you're killing the kidneys and again raising uric acid. So you cannot excrete it and you're again feeding the system. That is what is causing you gout. Inflammation hails from fructose and sugar. So when you drop meat, you're wasting time. You're supposed to drop sugar to fix the kidneys and then enjoy your meat. So uric acid will be excreted. Then drop fruits and honey. Good. Let me bring in some people. We're about an hour to go, so let me bring in some people so that we can have a conversation about this. And I hope you stick to the topic. I don't want to answer all questions. It's quite hard. Esther, Doc, please talk about drugs for hypertension. Drugs for hypertension do not help. Drugs for diabetes do not help. You need to fix your gut. You need to fix your kitchen to recover from hypertension. And Esther, I have done a whole video on fixing metabolic syndrome, how to reverse metabolic syndrome on that YouTube that you're on. Kindly check that video. Again, today I just talked about drugs. Yesterday I put up a video. So make use of that. Just search reversing metabolic syndrome, health and wellness sport. You will find it. On TikTok, my YouTube channel is Health and Wellness Sport. Thank you, 460 of you who are here watching us. Thank you for those who are also on YouTube. We appreciate you. Yes. What is your name? Motusi.
Mutusi, thank you very much for your enlightening.
Yes.
I would call it education. Thank you very, very much. I wanted to know how do we deal with, that is number one, how do we deal with stomach ulcer? That's number one. And number two, I want to thank you for the fruit issue that you have explained very well. You know, sir, for a long time, my wife wanted to lose weight.
Yeah.
But, you know, because we didn't know, we discovered from you that she has to also cut fruit. But since she left all the fruits,
Yeah.
you know, we have experienced tremendous results.
Good.
She was 90 kg. Right now, she's at 81. I think she has lost about 9 because we didn't know that sugar in the fruits were actually tampering with everything that we are trying to do. And, you know, for me, this was revolutionary.
Yeah.
Because we will be told mostly that, no, you can eat the fruits, cut starch.
Yeah.
But yet the fruits were reversing. And she used to have a numbness. But ever since that, all those symptoms, they are gone. And, you know, she's really enjoying her life now. No more, you know, headaches, no more heaviness in the body when she wakes up.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, bro. Let me just explain this to literally everyone now. Thank you so much, Mutosi, for being here. That is a guy from South Africa, I guess, because of the accent. Now, this is the issue. The system has lied to people that fruits are healthy and that you can eat one fruit a day, they will keep a doctor away. Fruits were designed to be seasonal. Modern fruits are not seasonal. They are always in market. They cannot attract flies. They take a lot of time before they go wrong. They are actually ripened using calcium carbide, which is a chemical. They are cultivated using a chemical for those herbicides that is called glyphosate. So all that you're taking from that apple that you eat every day to keep me away will keep me closer to you for a whole life. Because that apple every day gives you chemicals. That apple every day gives you fructose. The active component in fruits is fructose. I am glad that so many nutritionists listen to me and they start practicing it. Only that they don't credit this information to the source. But that's okay. As long as you're saving life, that's okay. So most nutritionists will tell you to take fruits. When most of you take fruit pudding, mango, pineapple, avocado and stuff, all these fruit puddings at lunch hour, and you don't count it as lunch. You just say, I just ate fruits. And fruits are healthy. Fruits have fructose. Fructose is the number one cause of insulin resistance. So fructose, unlike glucose, it is not converted to ATP. It goes into the liver. It is broken down to give you triglycerides. These nutritionists went to a biochemistry class, studied metabolism. These doctors studied metabolism, and they just did it for exam purposes. Once they got a pass, it was done. Metabolism says and indicates, you can even Google it, fructose is converted to triglycerides, and triglycerides are the unhealthy fats. So that is the number one cause of a fatty liver. And as we know from here, a fatty liver is the number one reason why you have metabolic syndrome, diabetes, hypertension, obesity, cancer, and kidney failure, even heart conditions. So that is the metabolic syndrome. It's called a syndrome because it's a collection of diseases. So you have this collection of diseases as metabolic syndrome, and their mother is insulin resistance. And the mother of insulin resistance is a fatty liver. And a fatty liver hails from fructose and glucose. This is basically eating fruits, honey, and carbohydrates. Now, once you understand that chain, how can you be unable to fight diabetes, hypertension, cancer, and obesity? You will fight it easily without having to swallow any pill. You'll just cut off what you're eating. When you cut off fruits, you start losing weight instantly. When you cut off seed oils and wheat products and carbohydrates, you start losing weight instantly. And you lose weight in a healthy way so that you will never have those stretch marks. You also not have that sagging skin. Enjoy that. Now, dog fruits in all forms. Only eat avocado because it is healthy in fats. All other fruits are rich in fructose. They are not seasonal. They don't attract flies. They don't go bad. They've been ripened. Run away. Now, about ulcers. If you are here and you're suffering from ulcers, I'll put up a video about ulcers and H. pylori. A perfect video to explain these things. However, I'll put this to you. One, ulcers is not hyperacidity as you've always thought about it, that it's an increase in acid in the stomach. No. Your stomach is supposed to have an acid, and that acid is intentionally designed to help you fight bacteria that is coming with food, and therefore you'll not get that cholera, you'll not get that typhoid. But if you have a messed up gut, you'll require the vaccine for cholera. Those of you who have taken the vaccine for cholera, culprits. Now, your gut, if you fix your gut, you concentrate the stomach acid. Remember that HCl is supposed to be there to fight bacteria, to also help you absorb or break down protein. Also, if you concentrate stomach acid, you send a signal to the brain through the vagus nerve. And that signal tells the brain, I don't want anything coming in, so close this sphincter, the one that is just above the stomach. It's called the cardiac sphincter. So that vagus nerve instructs the brain to close that, and then this sphincter here closes because the acid is so strong, and the body knows if this acid gets access to your throat, it will burn. So it closes this sphincter. Once you close that sphincter, the cardiac sphincter, then no content of the stomach comes up. So every content goes down. Now you start recovering from what? From heartburns, which is gastritis, which is GERD, the gastroesophageal reflux disease. So you've blocked this sphincter. I saw the other guy, this guy called Dr. Murugu yesterday. I heard him talk about taking Eno. And Eno will help you. You are lying to yourself. Anything that neutralizes this stomach acid sends a signal to the brain that, hey, your environment in the stomach is basic and therefore there's no harm. So this can go back. So what happens? The brain brings back the information to open up this sphincter. Once you open up this sphincter, all stomach content starts coming back and they start irritating you. Tuko pamoja? Once that happens, you open up this, stomach contents come back, you start getting the heartburn. What are you supposed to do to close this sphincter? You stay away from food. Once you fast or you take water that has salt, you concentrate stomach acid. Once you concentrate stomach acid, the brain will instruct the muscles to close, and this sphincter closes. Once it closes, no content of food will come back. No acid will come back. You are safe from the heartburn. Now, when you have ulcers, you need to stop eating all the time because one, when you eat, there is peristalsis. So that wound is constantly irritated. It opens up. Number two, you need to close this sphincter because your acid environment is messed up, is headed towards neutral and basic. And that tells you this sphincter will open up, so you'll have a heartburn. So when I tell you when you have ulcers, you need to start intermittent fasting and prolonged periodic fasts. You will tell me, my doctor told me fasting is bad. Fasting requires food. My ulcers want food. No, it's not your ulcers that want food. It is your mind that is telling you that there's high amount of insulin in your system, and therefore you need to constantly eat because you are addicted to food. So salt fixes ulcers. That is one. Fasting fixes ulcers. Drop all antacids because antacids will neutralize stomach acid, and if they neutralize, this will open. Drop Eno. Drop those PPIs, the omeprazoles and the omeprazole. Drop the kits. Fix the gut. Wow. Number one, just drop seed oils. Cook using ghee. Period. Or coconut oil. Number two, drop that wheat product. Wheat products are highly inflammatory to the gut. They are actually the ones that are causing you that inflammation, that ulcer, because ulcer is a wound. Number three, drop any painkillers, the diclofenac, the ibuprofens, the meloxicams, the celecoxibs. These are the drugs that definitely alter the composition of the wall of the gut. They drop that prostaglandin that protects your gut. Once that happens, you get an ulcer. Don't be lied to that antacids and PPIs and the kits will help you heal from ulcers. No, it will not. So drop all those. Once you drop that, then you start fasting. You fix your gut already. And remember, fasting fixes inflammation. And a wound is inflammation. So once you start fasting, you fix inflammation, your ulcers disappear. Now start eating healthy keto. Eat foods that are rich in protein because when you eat protein, your stomach acid is concentrated because it is the one that breaks down, tears apart those protein. So if you have a weak HCl in your stomach, you'll never tear out protein. So you'll not get amino acids. So you'll not get essential amino acids, and therefore you'll get depression. You'll get anxiety and insomnia. You'll get dementia. You get all these issues with the brain. You get skin problems because the skin is the number one symptom of a gut problem. That is how you recover from ulcers. But if you ignore this, you can ignore it. You will give me your money in future. That one I can assure you. Go and listen to Dr. Murugu lying to you about herbs and all. And then he goes, I don't know. Anywho, let's proceed. So I hope the boss you've gotten something from that. My aunt has been diagnosed with enlarging heart. Please comment about it. An enlarged heart is as a result of consumption of chronic carbohydrates. You consume carbohydrates all through. Let me take you this in the morning, your aunt takes tea that has milk plus sugar plus bread or honey. And the bread is brown bread. So you think brown bread is better than white bread. At lunch, at 10, he's taking a snack, tea plus maybe an egg. At lunch hour, he takes chapati and beans, all carbohydrates. In the evening, he's taking at 4 p.m. tea. In the evening again, at night, he's cooking his meal, rice and beans, and enjoys them. And he cooks them in seed oils. Then you expect him to recover from metabolic syndrome. Cardiac problems are metabolic syndromes. So tell your aunt this way. It is this simple. Your aunt has to drop seed oils, cook with ghee or coconut oil. I know they have already messed up her head telling her that uh, saturated animal fats are dangerous to her. But she has not been using saturated animal fats and she ended up in a heart failure. So start thinking outside the box. Use ghee and coconut oil to cook her meals. Let her start fasting 2 meals a day, one at 12, the other one at 6:30 and above, but not beyond 8 p.m. Let her concentrate on healthy keto, zero carbohydrates in her diet. Let her only eat meat, chicken, fish, omena, all this protein. All proteins in plenty make them fatty. And then drop sugar, drop wheat products, drop all carbohydrates in her diet. Let her eat, the only fruit has to be an avocado. So let her eat animal fat, let her eat vegetables, let her eat protein. Is that simple? The heart will go back to normal. Because remember, what is causing an enlarged heart is the same heart struggling to push blood into the blood vessels that have been occluded. And blood vessels are occluded by sugar because sugar is sticky. Once it sticks to red blood cells, then they stick to the wall of the blood vessels, and this wall starts to thicken. Once it starts to thicken, then blood pressure increases. So the heart is struggling to push blood through these blood vessels that are occluded by sugar. Okay, and then the heart starts to expand because it starts to grow because now it has to develop muscles to push harder. What about the brucella? Brucella is a non-existent condition, just like typhoid. Once you get brucella once, you develop antibodies that fight brucellosis and also antibodies that fight typhoid. So if you go and take drugs, actually, if you want to fix those problems that come with food, fix the gut. Brucellosis is fixed by HCl in the gut because those bacteria cannot survive HCl in the gut. A strong HCl will kill brucella, a strong HCl will kill typhoid, a strong HCl will help you recover from inflammation and gut problems like ulcers. So you're getting brucellosis all the time, not even getting brucellosis. They just take a brucella test that turns positive. And I already told you, brucella tests and Widal tests are scams because they are testing antibodies in the system, antibodies that already exist in the system. Because once you get one exposure to that disease, your body develops immunity against it. Those are the antibodies. So this test, the Widal test and the brucella test, tests these antibodies in the system. They will always be present. So Widal test will always turn positive. Brucella test will always turn positive, and you go take Cipro, take gentamicin injection, some take streptomycin injection for 21 days, a waste of time. Fix your gut. Best meal for gym goers. I don't encourage gym goers and encourage people who exercise. Gym goers are training like crazy. They are eating so much food after that. So you go and train and then eat too much carbohydrates, hoping that you want energy to get, you want carbohydrates to get energy. Energy comes from fat cells, not carbohydrates that you eat. Talk about severe migraines. Severe migraines take salt water. Severe migraines fix the gut because migraines come as a result of a messed up serotonin hormone. So fix your gut. And then drop all those drugs that you're using. Yes, Queen. Hello, Queen. Queen is wasting our time. Somebody's asking me, how do you fix your gut? I've sung that here all morning. I think my audience will respond to you on how to fix the gut. That one I can't do anymore. Are supplement good? Yes, supplements are okay, but it has to be targeted supplementation. For instance, if you have sleep disorders, if you have high blood pressure, then you can take magnesium supplements. But also remember, they're not a long-term solution because supplements are supposed to be found in food. So don't fall for products from that company. Those people who are using my content to lose weight and then come here and advertise. using the same way they lost through what I told them. They come here holding a tin of supplements from that company because they're employees of that company, telling you that this is very important for weight loss. Yet you didn't lose weight using those supplements. Another one who has just refused to come in, we will now kick them out as quickly as possible. So guys, again, do not think that this is an online clinic. It is not. If you are suffering from any condition, go to hospital, get an adequate test. Don't think that this is an online clinic. We are not here for consultations. We are here to just open up your eyes. Wasike. Yes, sir. Hi, how are you?
Hi, morning.
Good morning.
Afternoon, good evening. I'm good. Morning too. Now, there's something I want to check, and just to answer some people, there's a question that I've seen there, whereby many people have seen that the first question you raised was NGOs. Something funny is that we have over 500 NGOs in Kibera, that's in Nairobi. And which is the poorest place in Kenya is Kibera. What does it tell you? You see? Point two, just leaving people with questions. Number two, we are in the same category of apes. We are apes, like monkeys, baboons, whatever. Have you ever seen a monkey with a toothache? Have you ever seen a monkey with diabetes? What do they feed on? That's the question of the day. Thank you, Dr.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Go ahead and serve the masses, gentlemen. Go ahead and serve the masses. Wasike is that guy, that philosophy guy, you know. Doc, please talk about cancer. What do you want me to talk about cancer? Cancer hails from a messed up mitochondria. Every form of cancer, be it tumors, be it cancer is divided into the malignant. There's malignant and the benign. Benign means it's local, forms tumors, doesn't spread. Malignant means it can get through the bloodstream or the lymphatic system and then spreads to other organs. Now, every form of cancer hails from a messed up mitochondria. And fasting fixes two things. First of all, fixes your cells through autophagy, and then fixes your mitochondria through mitophagy. Okay? So those two, fasting is very important because fasting denies cancer cells the energy source, which is glucose. So cancer survives on glucose and glutamine, those two. Glutamine is an amino acid that is literally in every form of food, but glucose is present in carbohydrates. You can also break lean protein to carbohydrates, to glucose, sorry. So it's not healthy for you to eat lean protein because lean protein can be overeaten and then can be converted into glucose through gluconeogenesis. So these two are the energy sources of cancer. Now, if you fix this, the glucose, this one is easy to fix. The glutamine is easy to fix because this one is not the active form of energy for cancer cells. They rely mostly on glucose. Your body cells also need glucose, but they can do without glucose and utilize ketone bodies. So when you fast, you produce ketone bodies which are healthy for your cells and your brain. But cancer cells don't know how to utilize ketone bodies. So they'll start dying and your immunity will clear them out. So if you have cancer, first of all, drop what feeds cancer, which is sugar, carbohydrates, and seed oils. Once you do that, go on a healthy keto diet, strictly fatty protein, animal fats, and vegetable diet. And then eat 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day is enough for a cancer patient. And then after that, eat it at sunset because of the biological clock. And then after that, every weekend, make it a fasting weekend. So do a 48-hour fast every weekend. Give yourself 3 months. See how tumors start to shrink. Save that money. Send it to me if you can. Do you have a clinic you can come to consult? No, I don't have a clinic and I don't intend to have any. Talk about swelling feet, but swelling feet is just a sign of kidney problems. So that tells you you're not taking water into the cells. Your water is outside the cells. So that is one thing that maybe, number one reason has to be magnesium deficiency. So you have to get magnesium supplements. You also have to eat high avocados and eggs. Then number two, take salt, water that has salt. Then above all, drop the sugar because sugar is killing your kidneys. So fix the kidneys, then take salt, take magnesium supplements, and then start fasting. Talk about, this is gyno. What is gyno? I don't know what gyno is. Anybody who understands what gyno is? I don't know. Good, that's good. Anybody on YouTube who has a question? Let's see. Thank you, Doc. God bless you. Thank you, Anne. Can one stop taking BP meds like Telma 20? If you want to stop taking blood pressure, it's not BP. BP is blood pressure. It's hypertension drugs, elevated blood pressures. You cannot stop them instantly because remember, if you've been using, not unless you've been using them for a short period of time. If you use them for a long period of time, your system has adapted to those. Your system has adapted to those drugs, so you can end up getting rebound hypertension, which will be dangerous for you and your organs. So you need to drop them slow by slow, but you can't start dropping them up before you fix your kitchen. So you need to fix your kitchen, go strictly on healthy keto, zero carbohydrates. Then once you do that, drop sugar, drop seed oils, drop fruits, and then start fasting, eat healthy keto, enjoy fatty meats. Once you do that, within a period of 1.5 months, you'll see already a good change. Now you start tapering down the dose. Okay, if you're taking one tablet that has 20 milligrams, you go to 10 milligrams. Then after that, you just get it off slow by slow. If you're taking twice a day, you take it to once a day. Then slow by slow, you taper it down. What I tell people to drop down immediately is those lipid lowering drugs. They're useless. Everybody is asking to be in, then they disappear. You want to tell me there are no, those people who wear white lab coats and stethoscopes on their neck and they talk all the time on my timeline? Where are they? Where do they run to? Daktaris, where are the daktaris? Because we want a conversation with daktaris also, but they run away all the time. Talk about PCOS. PCOS is basically estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance comes from GMO, from fruits, and those things. So drop them. Yes. Is your network in order? Before you request to come in, make sure your network is in order. There's a smiling nurse here. Let's talk to a smiling nurse. So if you wish to support our work, you can support it through our contacts. You can also support it through our till number. Yes, smiling nurse.
Hey, Doctor.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm just following you up. I'm just running, just learning.
Are you working?
Yeah, I'm working, but right now I'm at home. So I'm just laughing wakati unasema those people with the lab coat, and I'm like, sasa kwa nini unasema hivyo? I still say that.
It's the truth because the reason why I'm saying that is because most people don't have the information out here, so they don't have a problem with what I share. What those people who have problems with what I share are those people who wear white lab coats and the stethoscope on their neck. That's the reason why they come to my. They are always on my comment section. If you walk through my comment section, you'll see that.
I'm loving. Yeah.
We appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. Huh?
Welcome. Keep me running.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Please let me talk about seizures. Seizures, epilepsy, and seizures is basically abnormal firing of dopamine. Remember dopamine? Dopamine is a hormone that is produced when you eat sugar. Are we together? I will leave it at there. Talk about ulcerative colitis. Nancy Kerubo, ulcerative colitis.
Hello, Dr.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So I have some few questions.
Please let them be few, because I know when you say few, you have 30 questions.
Okay, they are few.
Let's go.
Okay, well, number one, you see, when we were going for the clinics when pregnant, these nurses, I don't know whether they are nurses or CEOs or whatever they are, they used to scare us that if you don't take the IFAs, you'll get a child who has spina bifidus, those sorts of diseases.
Yeah.
Okay, so we took it, but personally I didn't take them because, not because I knew, no, but because they irritated me.
So just pause on that statement. Hapo tu nikuambie kitu. You see, if I have to sell anything to you, I must sell you fear.
Yes, I know.
Once I sell you fear, you are at liberty to take what I'm asking you to do. So that's the exact reason why doctors, CEOs, nurses, and nutritionists will tell you that bullshit of spinal defects in your children. Once they do that, they know they got your attention now. You'll be scared. Hey, mtoi wangu stay to them, mtoi mwenye ako na disabilities. Now I have you here for the next 9 months, giving you supplements every month. So you can continue.
So are those NGOs too?
But NGOs are the ones who are supplying you with the plumbinats. They're the ones who are supplying most prone counties with these iron supplements. Aren't they? They're the ones who are supplying you with those implants, the hormonal implants. They will tell you they are the ones that go to the pharmaceutical industries and then purchase these drugs for the sake of.
And then the plumbinats they are giving even to the wasted kids, the one with mom and Sam.
And you see, this child,
the HIV patients.
This child was born with through CS. So this child is already starting a game 1-0 down. Then after CS, the mother is unable to produce breast milk because of what she has been eating. So they will give this mother the NAN, the milk formulas. So this child eats these milk formulas from the second month. Then after that, they will give these children antibiotics. Then after that, then they give you plumbinat telling you that this will replenish their nutrition. Don't you see that chain?
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Good.
There is this I don't know whether to call it a concoction, powder-like. This one they were giving children when they come to MCH. They were giving it was called Mix Me. Sijui kama unaijua. Ulionaga.
Mix Me.
Mix Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, mi niliona kitambo, but the only thing I remember ilikuwa imeandikwa ati it has vitamin B12.
Hala. That's a dream.
Then they were told to give the child to mix with the food when the food is hot. Then when I saw it, someone mixing, the food changed to some weird color.
So you're just feeding your children chemicals.
Okay, my question about NGOs are answered. Now, the other life, niliacho nje nikiwa na question.
You want to ask a question for another life?
Yeah, so.
Why?
Sorry.
Why would you do that? Yet you know there are people who are.
Niliacho nje haki tafadhali. Ilikuwa there is a lady who came here akasema she has allergies with avocado. When she eats avocados, akisema ni diarrhea ama anatapika. So I was wondering, the protein allergies is about because of the preparations in the stomach because of wheat products. What about the avocados? Avocado is a good fat. Why does she has allergies with it?
Let me ask you a question. Apart from that lady, who else have you ever had having avocado allergies?
None.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, thank you.
You guys like to blame the wrong foods for what wheat products, seed oils, and sugar did to you. Now, there's somebody who's asking me about talking about sinuses. Sinuses is occlusion. They are swelling. So what do? Swelling is inflammation. How do you treat inflammation? First of all, most people who have sinuses are overweight. Lose weight. Drop sugar. Drop seed oils. drop wheat products, start fasting. Sinuses and respiratory tract conditions disappear immediately. What about fatty meat for people who have liver problems? I will always explain this. Felista, I will always explain this. Animal fat or fatty meat has nothing or has no relationship with the fatty liver. That saturated fat is absorbed in the lymphatic system, not in the bloodstream, in the lymphatic system. It is then converted to healthy cholesterol. You need cholesterol to survive. What causes you a fatty liver is fructose, which is a carbohydrate, which is glucose, which is a carbohydrate. Those are the ones that are converted to triglycerides and fat, and that is what is causing you a fatty liver. So animal fat, healthy fatty, saturated fats will never cause you a fatty liver. So if you have a fatty liver, keep consuming fatty meat. There's no relationship. Good. Let's bring in another person. I'm almost logging out, so let's be quick with the...
Hello, doctor. Hello, doctor.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Your background is noisy.
Yeah. I'm from Cameroon, but listen to some Kenyan music, and then you call at the same time. Southeast Soul.
Yeah. I can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm grateful to be here. I just started following you a few weeks ago. Then my mom is a diabetic patient. She's really been doing her best to meet up with dieting and all of that. So I sent her your videos and I asked her to follow you. So she was a little bit confused about the kind of diet she should take being a diabetic patient, because I told her, Mommy, maybe you have to go on fasting, you stop all the seed oil and all of that. Then you go on fasting, you eat more of avocados, just from what you were saying, just off head. And she's like, okay, I'm trying to get to doctor, but I can't get to doctor. And the fun is my elder brother is a medical doctor. As a medical doctor. So we were talking about people with white gowns and the stuff on their neck. I was just laughing. And I told my brother, come and follow a medical doctor. I don't know if you're a medical doctor or you're a nutritionalist, but you're giving the exact, I feel happy listening to you. So my question is, for a woman like my mom, what diet can she go on? Looking at the fact that 80% of our diet in Africa is just carbohydrate, morning up to evening. What can I tell my mom to do, like in form of a diet? What kind of fruits can she take?
First things first, you cannot start fixing what your mom eats. You cannot fix diabetes without fixing what your mom eats. You have to drop things before you start even fasting. So she has to drop the major foods. She has to drop the wheat products, basically carbohydrates. She's diabetic already, so she's been chronically consuming carbohydrates. So she doesn't have a reason to consume carbohydrates anymore, not unless there's a reason she wants to tell us that she consumes carbohydrates for. Zero carbohydrates in her diet is very helpful for her, because carbohydrates are not essential in our diets. They are not. That is one. Number two, zero seed oils. Let her cook with animal fats, saturated fats. Number three, if she's on drugs, let her drop drugs apart from one drug, metformin. And that will be for a short period of time. Number four, she has to take 2 meals a day, one at midday and one at 6:30 to 8. In between, there is no snacking, just taking salt water. Coffee, nothing else. Those are already therapy for her. How much does she weigh?
Sugar, no sugar, no black coffee?
No sugar, it's sugarless black coffee.
I can't really tell, but yeah, she's a tall woman. Big. But not big out of fat. She's been really watching her weight. She's not really out of weight.
Sir.
But she just, I think the thing came from my grandmother had diabetes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
You did not answer the question. The question is, what is her weight, not what is her height?
I can't tell for now, sir. I don't know the last time I checked her weight. I can't remember.
You see. So your mind is relying on her height, her being tall, and for ignoring the basics. Nobody cares about the height. We need to care about the weight, because the weight is a reflection of what is actually being stored in fat cells.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of her height, we need to know her weight. That is one. Number two, I've heard you already blaming genes, because your grandmother was diabetic, and therefore your mother must have inherited. So you're also expecting to be diabetic in future anyway. So the question is this, The question is this.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you inherit diabetes, or do you think you've been inheriting bad dietary habits?
For me, I think it's bad dietary habits. I spend most of my time, I'm always in the gym. Right now I'm in the gym. And you spoke about the gym and dieting. I've been following for a while. So I actually know deep down that it's not from inheritance. It's what you do with your dieting that actually brings these conditions to you.
If that's true, why were you already blaming the genes?
No, I wasn't blaming the genes. I wasn't blaming the genes. I was just trying to say my grandmother had it. And from my mom, she's thinking that, okay, because grandma had it, that's why it was easy for her to have it. So I'm telling her it's not the fact that your mother had it, because I'm not sure I'm going to have it, because I take care of what I need and I exercise regularly. So don't think it's about the gym. That's what I was trying to say.
And I also want to encourage you to keep going to the gym. But I want you also to know that going to the gym is not a leeway for you to eat anything that you want to eat just because you exercise. Because most of the people who go to the people who go to the gym, they will come out of the gym and consume so much food just because they want to replenish the energy they lost in the gym. But you see, the essence of fasting and the gym is to put you in a caloric deficit state so that you start burning fat. So if you go to the gym, burn that energy and then feed yourself with a lot of carbohydrates, you did zero work. That's why most people don't lose weight in the gym. Most people don't get any health benefits from the gym. Also remember, exercise plays 15% of health, including weight loss. Diet plays 80%.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody is wise, they fix the kitchen before even starting the gym.
Yes, as a gym instructor, that's what I tell everybody: fix your kitchen. The gym is just to keep yourself in a good mood mentally. It's not to make you lose weight. It's what you eat. Avoid carbohydrate. Avoid this. Avoid that. Don't take the gym as an excuse after workout. You go eat 17 chapatis. You drink Kilimanjaros and all these pears. Drink all this sweet juice and claim you're trying to replenish. That's the big mistake we make. So thank you very much, doctor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Kindly get to our YouTube and subscribe. Health and Wellness Sport. Now, there is this guy in Kenya who is called Ugaliman. Ugaliman. Most of you are followers of Ugaliman because he just threw Ugali up, caught it, and then got money in the gym. The gentleman is short, the gentleman is fat, and the gentleman is a gym instructor. Now, even if you have a brain, how can a fat person advise you about health? How can a gym instructor with a pot belly advise you about the gym? Somebody with zero knowledge in nutrition, zero knowledge in anatomy, and he wants to help you exercise and pull out the best result out of your muscles. How is that even possible? These are the same people who kill women with tapping their stomach. And the other guy from Tanzania called Denzel, they are busy tapping and hitting women's tummy so that they can burn fat. Who told you that? Most of you know those guys. Is stevia a good sweetener? Stevia is an artificial sweetener. Drop it. It doesn't raise your blood insulin, but it messes up your gut in inflammation. Do I fast after gym or before gym? Fasting is not after or before the gym. Fasting is a lifestyle. You actually, fasted exercises are the best. You can work out in the morning. You spoke healthy. Yes, it is. It has high content of fat. Advice on microwave. I have no advice on microwave because you are not supposed to use a microwave. Dr. Gyno, man boobs. Man boobs is on my YouTube. A video I put up on my YouTube about man boobs. Enjoy it, bro. It's all about insulin resistance and estrogen dominance. Ulcerative colitis, anything that has to do with autoimmune. Autoimmune is IBS. So anything that has to do with an autoimmune, you fix it through the gut, because autoimmune conditions hail from a messed up gut and also from a messed up adrenals on the kidney because of cortisol. That's why when you're given a steroid to help you recover from autoimmune diseases, so that tells you you're actually killing your adrenals even more, because you're supplementing the adrenals from external. Once you get that steroid shot, you're actually lowering your immunity, you're affecting your bones because it causes osteomalacia. You're also bringing a lot of problems with your sugar levels, and that will kill your kidneys. So what you do is stop that shot, fix your gut, start fasting. Autoimmune disappears when you fast beyond 36 hours. Autoimmune disappears when you drop that seed oil, start cooking with animal fat. Autoimmune disappears when you drop that wheat products, because wheat products cause inflammation of the gut and they cause a problem with your cortisol. Drop stress. That's how you fix autoimmune. And then eat healthy foods, healthy keto, period. Basically zero carbohydrates. If you have to get carbohydrates, let them be the fiber that is coming in vegetables. And then start fasting and take salt water. That's how you recover from ulcerative colitis. What are the examples of lean protein? When you go to the butcher and tell the man to remove fat from that, that is a lean protein. Doc, red wine, we don't take alcohol here. Alcohol in all forms. So yeah, I'm almost leaving. So thank you so much for being part of us. Guys who have supported us on YouTube, we appreciate you. Actually, let me shout out to Joel Minor for your token of appreciation on M-Pesa. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, Southwest, for being generous with your flowers. Black Talk, thank you. Thank you for those who have sent us gifts. It will be very unfair if you're on this live and you've not made us reach 100,000 likes. You've not sent us any gift. You've listened to this information for free. You've not sent us any token. You've not gone to our YouTube, Health and Wellness Sport, to subscribe. It will be very unfair. You'll be very mean. Yeah? You can't be mean.
Let me ask you one thing.
Yes, Sadiq, ask the question.
Morning, Doctor.
Morning.
One quick one. Is it eating well? Is it good or not?
It is not.
It's not. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, I didn't ask you.
You're welcome. So on that note of ugali, let me educate more people who have the same question as that guy. Ugali is a carbohydrate. Processed flour has zero nutritional value. It's cornstarch. It will mess up your gut. Now, maize in all forms, whether boiled, roasted, or cooked as ugali. Ugali as brown or white ugali is the same. The end product is absorption of glucose, which is messing up your system. You know, ugali has zero nutritional value. For those who are ugali addicts, the kisses, the luyas, ugali has zero nutritional value. Ugali does not give you the energy that you think. What ugali does, it expands your stomach. And once that happens, then the brain sends a signal to the liver to break down glycogen to give you glucose, so that then more glucose is coming in. So ugali does not give you any energy. There's no energy in ugali. Energy is in, so drop ugali and uji. They're a waste of time. Let us see. There's a lady called Lady Bados asking about something here, and I want her to clarify it. Thank you so much for that like. Thank you so much for that present. Thank you so much for that token. Thank you for subscribing, guys. TikTok guys who are on TikTok, kindly check out our YouTube channel. It's called Health and Wellness Sport. Subscribe. We also have a Telegram channel that is healthy. We share literally everything there without the fear of being stricken down. So it is also called Health and Wellness Sport. Thank you so much, Waibara. Always a pleasure having you here. You know that. This lady called Ladybird, I saw her comment, and then I just requested her to come in, and she's just run away. That is what they do. They will comment on your timeline, and then you call them in to put their argument out. They run away. What do you recommend in place of ugali? Nothing. Go on a healthy keto diet. You don't need carbohydrates. Sylvester.
Yes, how are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I might say the first time I watched one of your videos,
yes,
I was like, something is wrong with this man. I'm a medical doctor as well. But then I read about what he's been saying, and then I'm like, yo, he has a point.
Thank you.
Now, but you know how the syllabus is in medical, and then how we've understood, for example, diabetes and the treatment and everything.
Yeah.
And then you come up and then you talk about these things, and I'm like, but he has a point.
I know, right?
So, yeah, you do. You're one of the few people that when you listen to, takes you back to your books and you start reading again. You go, I think I got it all wrong here.
Yeah, sure, bro.
But I must appreciate your work. I didn't come here actually to just ask a question, but I want to just appreciate your work.
Man.
I know there are codes that we follow. There are lots of things that we follow. So you're gonna meet some storm as you go because people will fight you.
Yeah.
But you're doing a good work.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
I just wanted to appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, are you single?
I'm not. I'm not married. Thank you.
This lady is just heartbroken by Sylvester. Come on, this is not a dating scene. This is not a dating site. Anyway. So guys, thank you so much for that. Sylvester, I appreciate you for passing by and just saying, giving us those sentiments, the positive vibe. It is always until I hit a doctor directly that they take time to go and read and just get to understand the basics of this. Because, for instance, most doctors don't understand biochemistry, but they went to school and studied biochemistry as a whole unit. But they don't understand it. That's why they'll tell you fruits are healthy. Okay? So if you hear most doctors, and so there's another doctor who has shared our content all over in Britain. So you can imagine we are being heard, but most of our own are always resistant to this information, not because they just ni wivu tu. Kuna watu wanasikia tu wivu kwa sababu unashare kitu yenye either it is touching them directly or it's affecting them. Na inawasumbua kidogo. So if you feel targeted, then of course we will not change the truth. We will still fight for the reality, and we don't need to live in an illusion world. Most doctors are living a very average life because of lies. Yes, Queen. I guess I'm going to take 3 more. I have tried as much as possible to Thank you, Ibara, for those gifts. Doc, is there a diet for a person with arthritis? First of all, before you think about diets for people with arthritis, you need to think about what they should drop. Arthritis is still an inflammatory condition, and inflammation is caused by sugar, wheat products, and seed oils. These are the 3 things that cause systemic inflammation. Eric, so if you drop these 3, then from there you can fix any other thing. So you drop sugar, you drop seed oils, and then you drop wheat products in their diet completely. Once you do that, then it's easy for you to figure out what next. But before you do that, it's hard for you to talk about diets to eat before that. Been on TB drugs for 5 months now. After pleural effusion on the lining of the lungs, what could have caused it? Should I be worried? Yes, you should be worried about that. First of all, TB is a whole big deal. So you actually need to go back to hospital and have a review. You need to go to hospital and have a review before we give you online consultations. Now, put up on TikTok. I've put up my till number, so in case you feel like you are blessed enough. I know we are in the middle of the month and everybody's struggling. I am also struggling, am I? Anywho, if you feel you can send us through that token, through that number. That till number is a Safaricom till number. As we finish it up in style. Queen, I'll not bring you back again. I've brought you twice and you disappeared. So at least we had the doctor talking positive about us. But can we eat eggs? Eat eggs in plenty. 6 to 8 eggs a day if you're a man. If you're a woman, 6 to 8 eggs a day. Enjoy them. How do I stop acne marks? You don't stop acne marks. You stop the cause of acne, which brought you the marks, and that is insulin resistance. Stop consuming wheat and the seed oils. Good. I think it's time. Coconut oil, yes, is good. It's saturated oil. Use it. Talk about HIV, please. It's another topic for another day. We will do it someday. Don't worry. Causes of boils. Boils is 1, low immunity. 2, skin problems, because boils are caused by Staphylococcus aureus. That's the bacteria that resides on your skin. And therefore, if you have low immunity, that bacteria will enter the skin, the hair follicles, and start causing you boils. Yes, William Coffey.
Hi, Doc. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
I have a testimony to make. Doc, I want you to become a Ghanaian. Leave your Kenyan nationality and become a Ghanaian.
Why?
I'm so happy with you.
Thank you, bro.
My wife is now off. My wife is now off Gabo Smith. She's off what the other one, what that is Diamocron or something.
Dimicron.
She's healthy now. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
She's healthy. She's happy.
Wow.
She doesn't know what to do. I'm planning to invite you to Ghana.
On my way, sir.
I'm telling you.
On my way, sir.
And I'm sharing your views to everybody that I know of diabetes.
Man, thank you, man.
I'm telling you, she's off the medication for about 2 weeks since I spoke to you.
Yeah.
And she's happy now.
Man.
Very healthy now. And she's never taken any of those things.
I hope the masses can listen to that.
Nothing. And she's healthy.
I hope the masses can listen to that message, bro.
God bless you.
Man, thank you so much, bro. Thank you for recovering your wife. Thank you for taking us and trusting our processes, bro. We celebrate you.
I want you to become a Ghanaian.
I will. Keep spreading our gospel in Ghana, bro.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, bro. Positive vibes there. Positive vibes there. All the way from Ghana. And then as we head to Kenya, our Kenyan medics are busy fighting me. We love Kenyan doctors. Doctors do a very, they help like a lot. Without doctors, most of us will be dead. But Wasike is in the toilets. Wasike is in the toilet trying to